You must have been in a place so dark you couldn't feel the light reaching for you through that stormy cloud. Now here we are gathered in our little hometown. This can't be the way you meant to draw a crowd. Oh, that's what I keep asking. Was there anything I could have said or done? Oh, I had no clue you were masking a troubled soul. God only knows what went wrong and why you leave the stage in the middle of a song. Now in my mind I'll keep you frozen as a 17-year-old, rounding third to score the winning run. You always played with passion, no matter what the game. When you took the stage, you shine just like the sun. Oh, that's what I keep asking. And was there anything I could have said or done? Oh, I had no clue you were masking a troubled soul. Oh, God only knows what went wrong and why you leave the stage in the middle of a song. Now the oak trees are swaying in the early autumn breeze. A golden sun is shining on my face. Through tangled thoughts I hear a mockingbird sing. This old world really ain't that bad a place. Oh, there's no comprehending, and who am I to try to judge or explain? Oh, but I do have one burning question. Who told you life wasn't worth the fight? They were wrong, they lied. Now you're gone and we cry. It's not like you to walk away in the middle of a song. You're beautiful song. You're absolutely beautiful song.
would like to welcome everyone here in person and those joining us online today to honor and celebrate the life of Colton Nicholas MacDonald. I am one of Colton's big cousins, Amanda. I will be leading you through Colton's celebration of life today. Let me express the family's gratitude for your presence. The journey of grief is long, and those who walk it should not have to walk it alone. In times like these, nothing takes the place of friends. Your presence helps the family realize just how valuable Colton was to others and to show what an impact his living and dying has made. We honor Colton, who touched many lives. We will stop to hear the stories, to laugh and cry together once again, and to acknowledge that we are different because Colton was here. I would like to start by bringing up Colton's brother Dustin to read a poem he selected called If Tomorrow Starts Without Me.
When tomorrow starts without me, and I'm not here to see, if the sun should rise and find your eyes all filled with tears for me, I wish you wouldn't cry the way you did today while thinking of the many things we did not get to say. I know how much you love me, as much as I love you. Each time that you think of me, I know you will miss me too. When tomorrow starts without me, please try to understand that an angel came and called my name and took me by the hand. The angel said my place was ready in heaven far above, and that I would have to leave behind all those I dearly love. But when I walked through heaven's gates, I felt so much at home when God looked down and smiled at me from his golden throne. He said, "This is eternity, and all I promised you. Today for life on earth is done, but here it starts anew. I promise no tomorrow, for today will always last. And since each day is the exact same way, there is no longing for the past. So when tomorrow starts without me, do not think we're apart. For every time you think of me, remember, I'm right here in your heart."
Thank you, Dustin, for sharing such a heartfelt poem. That was beautiful. We all know Colton felt that where he is. I would like to share a tribute that was written about Colton by his family. Colton Nicholas MacDonald was born October 28, 1997 in Lloydminster, Saskatchewan to proud parents Mitchell MacDonald and Nicole Strauss. Colton will be dearly missed by his dad, Mitch, his mom, Nicole, siblings Brandy, Dustin, Melissa, Jade, and Tegan, his grandparents, Ron and Doreen, as well as various nieces and nephews. Colton got to experience living in various locations, including Lloydminster, Prince Albert, and Moose Jaw. Colton did not have a traditional childhood and spent time in the various cities with his mom and summers and holidays with his dad in Lloydminster. Colton will be remembered as a happy child who always wore that cheesy grin that melted hearts of every person he encountered. As a young man, Colton went through many struggles, but always came out on the other side, willing to do anything for those he loved. As a father, Colton will be remembered for his fierce love for his son, Aden. Colton felt Aden was his greatest achievement. He will also be remembered as a loving son, brother, uncle, nephew, grandchild, and friend to many. Colton will also be remembered for his strong work ethic. He spent many days up on a roof shingling people's homes, most recently with Lloydminster Roofing. Colton's main interest was his son, Aden. If he was not spending time with Aden, he was spending all his time talking about how proud he was to be Aden's dad. Colton also enjoyed spending time with his dog, Ramsey. They were truly best friends. Colton loved music and loved to sing, even if he was not always in the right key. Colton also loved spending his summers with the animals on Grandma and Grandpa MacDonald's farm. He spent many long days tending to the miniature horses, the donkeys, and the llamas. The time spent taking care of the animals with his grandpa taught him the value of a strong work ethic. The time spent with the animals also brought out Colton's compassionate and loving side that will be dearly missed. The responsibility that Grandpa Ron taught Colton while working with the animals really caught on. It caught on so well when a miniature horse dragged Colton down the road by its lead. Colton hung on as tight as he could because he could remember Grandpa Ron telling him he better not let go of that rope. Needless to say, Colton ended up with some scrapes and bruises, and the horse got away, but Grandpa Ron had no angry words for his crying and injured grandchild. Colton taught us to persevere through all life's challenges and how to come out a better person. He will be deeply missed, but not forgotten. Colton, we will hold you in our hearts as you watch over us from above. Thank you for allowing me to share that tribute. I will now call upon members of Colton's family to come up and share some of their memories. I would like to welcome Colton's dad, Mitch, to share some words.
Me and Nicole were talking this morning, and she said one of her happiest, proudest moments is when she found out she was pregnant with Colton. And
the first person I ran out to was Doreen. Just so excited.
She had so much love for her son. But okay, here we go. To my son and best friend, Colton. When I think of our time together, I look back.
Hello. Hi, bud.
When I think of our time together, I look back and remember all the fun times we had. When you were young, I remember coming, picking you up, and bringing you back to my house, and happy we both were in that moment. When we got to our house, our house, all the fun things we would do, like playing football and getting the ball gloves and playing catch. That backyard was so full of memories. Like today, I was painting the window frames that were high up, and I asked you to hold a ladder while I was up there. You looked at me with a grin and smile and said, I know how to call 911 if needed. We used to spend hours at the park behind the house. You never wanted to leave with all the fun we were having. We would go to Bud Miller Park and play mini golf or just walk around the lake. Our camping trips in grandparents' homes were so much fun. Even when I got frustrated, you were scared of the moths that would be in the motorhome at night. As you got older, I remember our trips to Drumheller, and you had a snake wrapped around your neck at Reptile World, and going to see the mountains, which were so peaceful. The time you, Melissa, and I were in Penticton, I bought sandals, and you both were laughing at me, telling me I shouldn't be wearing them with socks up with the sandals. All the time you got to spend at the farm with your grandparents, I always knew that was important to you. You would always talk about the things you would do with them and all the things you would learn from them and how fun of a time you had at the farm. We had so many fun times when you were growing up, and so many memories that I mentioned and have still. As you grew into an adult, I was so proud of you. I got to see you become a father and a proud man of his own son. I could see that you were proud and happy with your son, Adam. You always told me you wanted to do the things me and you did with your own son because you had so many memories of the fun stuff we did and wanted to pass along the same joys and memories. I remember seeing the joy and happiness when I would take you to get your son and bring him back to your house. My heart would always melt when you and Adam would see each other and go running towards each other and hug. On our drives to get Adam, I could see your spirits and happiness get stronger the closer we got. Whether you had Adam at my place or when I visited you both at your place, I could see what a good dad you were. You both had so many smiles being together, and I was happy for both of you. I will miss all the times we spent together the last few years. We got really close as adults. We talked about a lot of different things, from joy and happiness and things that made us sad. We never judged each other. We always tried to give encouraging words to each other. You were there for me as much as I was there for you. I will miss our time spent together. I will miss all our time spent together, whether it was just our half-hour coffee times when I would have to come to town and run errands. I would just pick you up, and we would do them, and we would talk about so much. Or taking you to get your groceries or dog food, or taking you to try getting your learners. You were having troubles passing it, but wasn't about to give up. When you came out from trying, I would give you encouraging words, and you would look at me and say, I will get it one day. I have to keep trying. So to my son, my best friend, I have so much more to say, but we'll leave it at that. I will always be thinking of you, and I'm not totally sure how I will carry on without you, but I know you would want me to. So I will try my best. You will be missed by so many. You were a great man, and I was always a proud father of you. I thank my other 3 kids for all the help and work they did to make this day as special as we could for Colton. I also thank all the family and friends that have been there for me in this sad time. So goodbye for now, my son, my best friend, Colton. We will be together someday down the road when it's meant to be. I will keep going with the memories I have of you. I love you, son, with all my heart, and will always be proud of what you accomplished.
Thank you, Uncle Mitch. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing your memories. I'm going to share some memories that my grandparents shared with me. So, this is written by Grandma Mac. From a very early age until a teenager, Colton spent his summers and Christmas holidays with us. Being the youngest grandchild and being a bit younger than his cousins, he did not have the fun of bonding with them as much as some of the others had. I sometimes thought it could not have been much fun for him hanging out with his elderly grandparents, but he never complained. He was always so willing to help. I remember one time when Grandpa was trimming Donkey's hooves and the donkey was not cooperating, Colton started singing to the donkey and petting it, and it calmed right down. Both Grandpa and Colton enjoyed each other's company during parade season. Colton would help Grandpa with the horses before and after the parade and ride along with him during. It was so funny the time Colton saw his chance to get even with his grandpa for a prank Grandpa had played on him. Colton saw Grandpa go in the stock trailer, so he quickly shut and locked the door. Colton thought it was hilarious to hear his grandpa hollering and pounding on the door to get out, but he just let him stew for a while. We had many good laughs about that over the years. Grandpa also taught Colton to play cribbage, and it really pleased him anytime he was able to win. I remember always getting after Colton for walking on the backs of his runners, and then one day he caught me walking on the back of my shoes, so I'm sure you can guess how that went. Just something else we had another good laugh about. We used to have seniors come out on excursions to the farm to see the animals, and if Colton was here, he was always so attentive and kind to them. They adored the young boy with the big heart. He was always so willing to help and could not do enough for us. The one winter he was at his dad's and Grandpa was still working, he would show up every afternoon to do chores as he did not think I should be doing them. I will always remember how important it was for us to meet Brienne and how excited he was for us to see his son Aden. He told me he had hoped that one day Aden could experience some of the things at the farm that he had. We will always cherish the memory of Colton being here the first part of May to help celebrate Grandpa's birthday. He never missed a chance to let us know how much we meant to him by telling us or by the things he did for us. We just hope he knew how much he meant to us. We will always feel those big hugs and hear, Grandma and Grandpa, I love you. We love you, Colton. Rest easy. Thank you, Grandma. I'd also like to say I can't believe that Colton managed to get away with locking Grandpa in the horse trailer. Not too many of us would get away with that. I know you both shared a special bond with Colton, and it's pretty obvious that he shared that bond with you too. I would like to call upon Adam's mom, Brienne, to say a few words.
I've never done anything like this, so if I don't get through it, I'm sorry. When I first met Colton, I fell really hard. He was so sweet and he was charming. Our mutual friend picked him up, and on his way to come get me, he forgot his hat and he just had to go back and get it because that first impression, it meant a whole lot to him, and it really meant the world to me. On our first date, we went to Rock Creek and sat in their lounge. We were drinking Caesars and we got to know each other, and we already planned our first trip. We were gonna go to Saskatoon for the weekend. I still remember on the way back from our trip, I was laying on his legs the whole way home because I was honestly really hungover and I was really tired, but he was singing and he was so happy. We started dating October 26th in 2016. 2 days before his birthday, but he never told me about his birthday, and I kind of hated that he did that, but he didn't really like his birthdays to begin with, so. Throughout the years, I learned that he carried a lot of pain and heartache. Regardless of his struggles, he was the hardest working man I've ever met. He never stopped trying, even when life seemed impossible. He went through a lot of darkness and heaviness. I just really hope that I carried some of that load for a little while. I'm okay. Thank you. I'm okay. I got this. When I found out I was pregnant, I, of course, immediately panicked. I didn't do any of the cute, you're gonna be a dad surprises, which he deserved. He really did deserve that. Realistically, I was 20 and I wasn't ready to do it alone. He never pressured me to make a decision, and I respect him so much for that. He was beside me regardless, but of course, when we decided to have a baby together, he was so excited. I told you, even if we weren't together, we had to make it work for at least 18 years for our baby, and he agreed before I could finish my sentence. When I broke up with Colton, I wasn't leaving because I no longer loved him, which makes this harder. I thought that I had time to heal and to learn how to be a better mother by myself. I know he didn't understand for a long time, but in the last 6 months, he really understood. This was never supposed to be permanent. I'll always know in my heart he was supposed to be my forever. I just thought we had time. Sorry, I can't see. Colton really knew how to love. He never let me forget how beautiful I was, even when I looked like a whale at the end of my pregnancy because I was large. He did little things that showed me he cared. He never let me push a grocery cart or load a single thing into my vehicle or the house. He left me love notes when I needed them most. And I'm really happy I found a couple of those because they've been really helping. He got me presents to remind me that he cares even after we broke up, which who does that? Throughout all the good and the bad, you made me the woman I am today. You showed me kindness and patience. You showed me how to love. You showed me how to be strong, but nothing could have prepared me for the strength I'm needing right now. He knew my heart. He knew my soul. I gave him a lot of pieces of me, and I know he's protecting them because that's what he did. You told me on our first date how you wanted to someday help kids and young adults get off the streets, help them stay out of gangs and a whole lifestyle of issues. You experienced things that most people wouldn't understand, and although it taught you how to be strong and how to be a man, I promise, like for real, as you would say, I'll make sure Adam doesn't have to experience the same struggles you did. He will become a man because he had such a great role model like you. Colton had his demons, but no one can tell me he was a bad father. Adam will be raised in a home with so much love. Colton did a lot of things right and he did a lot of things wrong, but he never got being a father wrong. He always got that one down. You were stubborn, loyal, and loving. You were completely unedited. You were real. You were never judgmental. Even maybe you should have been, I don't know. The amount of compassion you had blew me away, but the amount of love you had for Ad and Ramsey and I was even more beautiful. Lloyd was always Colton's home, his safe place. Anytime we could, we would come visit his dad and his grandparents. The amount of love and respect he had for those three blew my mind. Coming to the farm the first time, I see a side of Colton I didn't know existed. He was so excited to show me off. I still remember on our first trip up, he looked at me in the most serious way and said, "Whatever you do, do not call the miniature horses ponies. My grandpa hates that." I'll always remember the first tour of the farm you gave me. It was so cold, but you were so excited to have me there. I'm pretty sure I was wearing fake eyelashes, and it was so cold I was crying them off, and I looked like a disaster, but he loved it. I'd give anything to spend another afternoon playing crib with you and your grandparents. And for someone who was terrible at math in school, he was really good at crib. I don't know how you guys taught him that, but he sucked at numbers. I'm so grateful you let me see the most genuine side of you. You gave me a whole lot of firsts in life, including taking me to the strip club in town here. That was an experience. If this has shown me anything or taught me anything, it's that our life choices matter, and if you see someone struggling, reach out and offer the help. I carry a lot of guilt, and I intend on putting it in that little guy. I'm going to put all that energy into Adam, and I'm going to raise him so good. I don't know if things would have been different if any outside influence changed what was going to happen, but we all know that Colton deserved endless amounts of love, and he never stopped trying. He did get sober for quite a while, and that made me so proud. He even quit smoking, which we both agreed was never possible. He looked at me and said, "I could quit anything, but cigarettes, that's sticking with me," and he did quit. I attended many Narcotics Anonymous meetings as support for Colton, and he was hardly religious, but I can still hear him reciting this serenity prayer even now. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. You're an amazing father, friend, and you were our family. I will forever cherish the memories we made and constantly miss having you there to make more. I'll keep your photos and your love notes close. I'll never let Adam forget the sacrifices you made for him. You changed your entire lifestyle around for your boy. He's going to know how strong you were, and he's definitely going to know how much of a gentleman you were. It just sucks. You were supposed to be my person to get through tough times in life. And this is the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with. I could really use one of your hugs and talks right now, because your hugs were honestly the best. You had such long arms. Like, they were so nice. I will miss you so much, and I will love you for always. I feel selfish wishing you were here because we all know you deserve to be at peace, but I promise me and Adam will be here, and I hope that you can wait for me because we will have so much to catch up on. And maybe you can skunk me at crib when I see you again, because he always did that. I think I beat him like twice. I'll really miss him.
Thank you for sharing, Brienne. You and Colton shared so many great memories. Adam and yourself will always be a part of our family. In conversation with some of my family in the last couple days, some great memories and moments we've had with Colton have come up. Please let me share some of those with you. So my sister, Stacy, shared her memories. She remembers babysitting Colton at Grandma and Grandpa's. They got a phone call and the display said Alexander MacDonald. The person on the phone asked if Colton wanted to go play with a couple of little girls. So Stacy asked Colton and he said sure. They said they'd be right over to get him. So she hung up the phone and asked Colton, who was that? He said, I have no idea. She felt like babysitter of the year, so she called her mom and asked her who she said that Colton could go play with. That's when they both learned that Uncle Sandy's name was actually Alexander. She said she loved hearing Uncle Mitch talk about Colton and Aden. He would beam with pride. Whenever Grandma and Grandpa would talk about Colton, you knew that he held a special place in their hearts. It was not hard to figure out why everyone was so proud of him and why he was so special. I was always so impressed with Colton. He had the kindest heart. A month after my oldest son passed away, we went to Grandma and Grandpa's house, and Colton led my kids around on the miniature horses. Afterwards, he played with the kids and had them laughing and climbing all over him. I think he enjoyed it as much as they did. They really needed that. Colton will always be remembered for his loving nature, kind heart, and the fact that he did not get his height genes from the MacDonald side like the rest of us. My brother Kent said Colton used to call me Big Guy. I'm not sure if it's because he could not remember my name or if that's just what he liked to call me. Grandma and Grandpa brought him to one of my New Year's Eve parties when he was a teenager, and we taught him how to play poker. He always wanted to prove to me how tough he was getting whenever he would see me. We arm wrestled a few times, but I would never let him win. My mom, Colton's Auntie Jo, said her most memorable moment with him was when he stayed with them for a week in the summer of 2006. He worked so hard to help them clean up the windbreak on their farm, and when she went to wake him up one morning, he was quoted as saying, "Auntie Jo, don't you know that teenagers need like 10 or 12 hours of sleep to be well rested?" Myself, I remember being so excited to hold my new baby cousin, as Colton was the only baby cousin I really had, since the rest of us were so close in age. Also, to add to the incident that I mentioned previously that Colton had with the miniature horses, his sister Melissa reminded me the other day that I had to lead the 3 horses home, and she carried him back to the farm. Keep in mind, he was 9 and nearly as big as his big sister, but somehow she managed. The 3 of us spent that week at Grandma and Grandpa's farm helping Grandpa get ready for the Lloyd Fair. I'm so thankful for all of that time that we got to spend with him at the farm and for the quick visit that we had with him just last week. I will always remember Colton wearing Grandpa's white cowboy hat and for those long eyelashes of his that would make any girl jealous. And like Stacy mentioned, how he managed to get all of the height in the MacDonald family. Uncle Glenn sent me a quick text this morning of some of his memories of Colton. When he dropped him off from Grandpa's birthday, they had a really good chat, one that he will always remember. Colton was always worried about other people. He talked of the love he had for his grandma and grandpa, wishing he could spend more time with them. He also talked about Dustin, Brandy, and Melissa, how they talked, and the love he had for you guys too. He talked about Aden and the love he had for him, how he brought Aden to his grandma and grandpa's and Mitch's place, how proud he was to have his son see where Colton spent some very happy years. Then he talked of how his dad and how he needed you, Mitch. He was so worried about you ending up alone that he was thinking of putting your profile up on a dating site. So I guess that's up to you, Brandy, Dustin, Melissa, to find your dad a mate for Colton's peace of mind. He had a love for everything, his work, his family, his best friend, Mitch, and most of all, his son, Aden. Colton, when I dropped you off after Grandpa's birthday, I will never forget as you got out of my car and walked away. Love you, man. As we end today's celebration of life, celebration of Colton's life, The family would like to extend their deepest gratitude to everyone who was able to join in person and online today. And I just want to say how honored I am that you guys had me speak on Colton's behalf. That means a lot. Please enjoy this video tribute of Colton prepared by sister-in-law Loranda. The family would like Loranda to know it means the world to them for the time that you spent preparing the video tribute. Thank you.
Before you go, hey there now, where'd you go? You left me here, so unexpected. You changed my life, I hope you know, 'cause now I'm lost, so unprotected. In the blink of an eye, I never got to say goodbye. Like a shooting star, flying across the room, so fast, so far. You were gone too soon. You're part of me, and I'll never be the same here without you. You were gone too soon. You were always there, like a shining light on my darkest days. You were there to guide me. Oh, I miss you now. I wish you could see just how much your memory will always mean to me. In the blink of an eye, I never got to say goodbye. Like a shooting star, flying across the room, so fast, so far. You were gone too soon. You're part of me, and I'll never be the same here without you. You were gone too soon. Shine on to a better place. We'll never be the same. I fell by the wayside like everyone else. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, but I was just kidding myself. Our every moment I started a place, 'cause now that they're gone, all I hear were the words that I needed to say. When you hurt under the surface, like troubled water running cold. Well, time can heal, but this won't. So, before you go, was there something I could have said to make your heart beat better? If only I'd have known you were the storm to weather. So, before you go, was there something I could have said to make it all stop hurting? It kills me how your mind can make you feel so worthless. So, before you go, was never the right time, whenever you're cold. Went little by little by little until there was nothing at all. Our every moment I started to play, but But all I can think about is seeing that look on your face when you hurt under the surface, like troubled water running cold. Well, time can heal, but this won't. So before you go, was there something I could have said to make your heart beat better? If only I'd have known you were the storm to weather. So before you go, was there something I could have said to make it all stop hurting? It kills me how your mind can make you feel so worthless. So before you go, we'll be better off by now. If I let my walls come down, maybe I guess we'll never know. You know, you know. Before you go, was there something I could have said to make your heart beat better? If only this right here, tell me what goes out to everyone that has lost someone that they truly love. Come on, check it out.
Seems like yesterday we used to rock the show. I laced the track, you locked the flow. So far from hanging on the block for dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. Through your family, I'll fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime. The night they took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you.
It's kinda hard with you not around. Know you in heaven smiling down, watching us while we pray for you. Every day we pray for you, till the day we meet again. In my heart is where I keep you, friend. Memories give me the strength I need to proceed, strength I need to believe. My thoughts big, I just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time. Us in the six, shop for new clothes and kicks. You and me taking flicks, making hits, stages they receive you on. Still can't believe you're gone. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you still living your life after death.
I take